So when you get to the indemnification provision in your contract review, I want you to step back and think about the big picture. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't start worrying about where the exclusions are, where the conditions are. Don't look at any of that yet. Just start with what is the situation you're in. And the reason that's so important is because of the way the indemnification functions in your contract. Now, most of the contract provisions relate to the parties doing something in the ordinary course. The vendor will deliver the product, the customer will pay for the product, will keep information confidential. If there are claims, here's a limit of liability. But the indemnity is a little bit different. With the indemnity, we're saying if this thing happens in the future, even though we don't know if it'll happen or not, if it does happen, one side is going to step up and reimburse the other, cover all their costs, could be in the millions, tens of millions. And we're saying up front that one party is going to do that for the other. It's a big burden. It's potentially huge. And so we're doing this in a moment when we're negotiating the contract and we don't even know what's going to happen. You don't know the type of claims that are going to come up. We know from industry experience, from personal experiences, the most common types of claims. We know the kinds of claims that are more risky for certain kinds of clients and certain kinds of industries, but we don't know. And so that's one of the traps that you're going to face as you're reviewing an indemnification provision is what I call the future telling trap. You draft and negotiate your indemnification solely based on the probabilities. Yes, you are covering those probabilities for this type of transaction, but are you really tuning into the kinds of risks that your client or company is facing for this particular contract? That's why it's so important to focus on context. Words are important too, but in the case of indemnification, the real important work is the context. And that's why I always say, don't go into the words yet. Start with the context, start with the counterparty, start with the transaction. Think through your contracts and how things are going to play out and the kinds of risks and problems that could occur during the term and after as they relate to the product, the service, the platform, the technology. So you're thinking about the parties. Who are they? Are they more likely to be sued because of the nature of the entity, the nature of its industry, their role in it? You're thinking about that. You're thinking about the product or service that's covered by the contract. Is that something that is likely to trigger a third party claim? You're thinking about payments and obligation and delivery obligations. You're going through kind of the parts of the contract, thinking all of them through and about all the different things that are going to be happening under this contract. The IP, what's being licensed, what's being assigned. So as you go through all these provisions, that's giving you a broader picture of the context in which this indemnification provision sits.